Ah, boy. Sure is nice to have finally done a full collection overview again. Can't believe I waited like 6 years since doing the last one. Oh, wow. The collection sure has grown since then. And, man, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching all the multitudes of parts I did, showing you my entire collection. I really, really glad that you enjoyed it. And, yeah, it's great to finally have it done. Oh, fuck! Today we'll be kicking off our look at the sci-fi and fantasy shelves by checking out my Star Wars DVDs and Blu-rays. Okay, so since I'm kind of dividing up the shelves in this section a little more than previous sections, I've decided I'm just going to use this shelf kind of as like a display shelf to focus on whatever section we're talking about in that part of the overview. So here we go. This, of course, is my Star Wars collection, so quite a lot of stuff here. So let's start at this end, where we have something that isn't Star Wars, but it's kind of Star Wars related-ish. We have THX 1138, the director's cut. Now this is basically George Lucas's debut film, which is a feature film expansion adaptation of a student film that he did back when he was in film school. The student film is actually included here as an extra, and I must confess it's all I've watched. I actually have not watched the movie itself, and I don't know, honestly the student film is very student film. It's like your typical sort of artsy-fartsy, borderline incomprehensible, loaded with symbolism and metaphor, surreal sci-fi thing. So after watching that, I guess I just wasn't in a big rush to watch a feature-length adaptation of it, so I never got around to it. I'll watch it eventually. Alright, then next up we have the greatest Star Wars movies ever made, The Ewok Adventures. Yes. So here we have the double feature disc of Caravan of Courage, Caravan of Porridge, and the Battle for Endor. So there you go. I did see these back when they were originally on, and I remember thinking, oh my god, a live-action Star Wars movie on television? We don't have to go to the theater? That's amazing! But, yeah, I mean, I guess for its time, the special effects are pretty good, honestly, for a TV movie, but definitely pale in comparison to the movie, or the movies. And next up, we have Star Wars Clone Wars. This is the one by Genndy Tartakovsky, the creator of Samurai Jack. This was a mini-series that aired on, I think it was the Cartoon Network. I really liked this a lot, actually, and the first season, which is this one here, was meant to be just kind of standalone shorts, adventures during the Clone Wars. But then when the second season came out, this is in between episodes 2 and 3 when this came out, if you want to know how old this is. When the second one came out, they decided to actually tie it in more directly with the movies. So this season is longer episodes and actually links up to the continuity of episode 3. So it kind of bridges the gap between the two movies. Now, it has, of course, since been kind of replaced by the Clone Wars CG series. Just kind of give you a look at the inside there. Very nice. And I don't know, kind of forgotten, honestly. I kind of wish this would get a new release or get a little more respect, because it's actually quite a well-done series. And I know everyone I know who's ever seen it really likes it, so I don't know. I still have to actually watch the Clone Wars series. I've only seen a handful of episodes. It does come and go from Netflix, so at some point I'll check it out. I gotta watch Rebels too. I've only seen the first few episodes of that. And here we have Droids, which sadly is the only DVD release we've ever had of Droids. It's very similar to the handful of VHS releases we had a few years back. Basically, with Droids, I really liked this animated series when it was originally on. It was basically serialized, so it's actually got a pretty tight continuity throughout the run of the series. It ran for one 13-episode season, and then there was an hour-long special. So the equivalent of 15 half-hour episodes total. So this DVD basically contains 2 of the, I think, 3 story arcs from the series, but re-edited and reworked into movie-style presentations. Also, all of the music has been changed, so it's none of the original music from the actual show, which had kind of a different... Like, the actual score for the show was very Star Wars-esque, but it had more of a lyrical song for the theme song. So I keep hoping they'll release some kind of just uncut, complete series set of that, but I don't know, it just seems to have been kind of left by the wayside, unfortunately. All right, and now we get into the actual movies proper. We have the prequel trilogy here, of course. The original DVD release of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Now, love or hate the movie, this is a really good DVD set, in particular because it has this massive feature-length, fly-on-the-wall style documentary all about the making of the movie, and it's really interesting to see just kind of the creative process and everything that went into it. And then here we have Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, which I don't know. A lot of fans are really down on the prequel trilogy, and it is a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. I found the love story between Anakin and Padme probably the most cringeworthy part of it, but there are other aspects of it I really like. Like, I really do like Anakin's descent into evil and, you know, the dark side and everything. And there's some great set pieces in them as well, like some great action sequences and whatnot. And so here, of course, we have Revenge of the Sith. And there we go. And this actually links up quite nicely to Episode 4. There are a few things that don't quite connect properly, sadly, but I don't know how well... Yeah, you can see. Also, the Episode 3 DVD is the only one that didn't have a reversible cover, so I'm stuck with the English and French, whereas this one has the English and French on the other side, and then you can flip the cover around and it has just the English. I don't know why they didn't do that for Episode 3. They did it for all the other 5, but not Episode 3. So, I don't know. Anyway, so this is the box set that came out a while back. This is kind of a collector's item now, mainly because of the bonus disc that's on it. So, very nice. This is, of course, the widescreen edition. These are all widescreen editions. So if we slide this out, we actually have another box inside. So we got the Millennium Falcon being chased there, and a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Presentation wise, this is a very nice set, I have to say, and it's great to have the original trilogy in this form. So now the versions that are on this are the special edition versions, of course, and because that's all we get these days. So this is the 2004 special edition. I actually did, oh, look at that. I have a disc of deleted scenes. I think that was from long before the Blu-ray set came out and included most of that material. So it was the only way to get it was through fan compilations. So we got that, and then we have Empire Strikes Back. Absolutely my favorite. And in terms of special editions, this is the one I have the least number of problems with, because most of the things that they quote-unquote fixed or changed don't really interrupt things. Some of the stuff in Episode 4 I felt really kind of just interrupted the flow, and it seemed like they were just kind of doing them to do them, like Mos Eisley Space Station and stuff like that. And same with Episode 6, where we have... you know, that ridiculously over-the-top musical number in Jabba's palace. I mean, come on, just give us Lapti Nek already. But, and there we go. So, but otherwise, you know, pretty nice additions. And there's some extras on there as well. There's basically commentary tracks on each one by George Lucas, which is pretty cool. But here's the big reason to get this set, is this disc, this bonus disc, because this actually has a feature-length documentary on it called Empire of Dreams, which for whatever reason was not re-released when they did the big deluxe Blu-ray set of the original trilogy. So this is the only way you can get it. And this disc is the main reason why this set is so highly sought after, and you're likely to pay a pretty penny for it on the collector's market. But and that's one of the main reasons I keep it, is just for that documentary disc. And of course, I mean, it is quite a nice a nice set as well. I like it a lot. Just a nice display piece. Just gonna move that over there. We'll put the hero side there. You got Darth Vader on the other side there, of course. And then I lucked out. I got these when they were actually being cleared out at Walmart, so I got them fairly cheap at the time. We have the limited editions of the original trilogies. This is episode 4. And the big deal with the limited editions is it is the last time to date that we were given the original unaltered trilogy, before all the special edition changes that started in '97 and have been endlessly tweaked ever since. And I also have a disc with the holiday special on it. I've actually since got a better quality copy of that, but yeah, because it looks like we'll never get an official release. Now, the thing about the release of the first disc is the same as what's on the box set, but the original theatrical version is put in as a bonus feature. And the same thing for all 3 of these here. Basically, they used the same master tapes that were used for the Laserdisc release of the original trilogy when they did the original One Last Time, as they called it, which is actually what this is from here. This VHS release was one of those. And the problem with that is it's great in that it is unaltered. However, it's not anamorphic widescreen. So if you're watching it on a high-def TV, you've got black bars at the top, bottom, left, and right. So it's basically window boxed. So you have to zoom in, which means they're basically not using the full potential resolution of the frame that way either. So you're actually getting it in lower picture quality than the special edition version, which is anamorphic and which uses the whole frame and then is, squeezed down to fit your TV and fits properly on a widescreen TV. So it's unfortunate that the original unaltered trilogy was kind of given such lackluster treatment. So next up we have Star Wars, the Complete Saga. So this was sent to me by JL232, who is a longtime viewer and frequent chatter on my streams and whatnot on Twitch, and comes to Saturday Night Insanity pretty much all the time, hangs out on the Discord. Just a really nice guy. And anyway, he had an extra copy of this and wanted to send it my way because he knows I love me some Star Wars. And also the fact that this is the re-release that was put out after Disney bought out Lucasfilm, because there was a previous release of this, which honestly I didn't care for the cover on it, where it was just of young Anakin with a Darth Vader shaped shadow in the desert, and it just didn't really scream grand sweeping space saga to me. But this one just has a badass picture of Darth Vader on the cover, so very nice. It's also slightly smaller package, so it takes up a little bit less shelf space, which is good. So if we just pop this open here. This one, honestly, I kind of waited on this because, again, we didn't get the original unaltered versions. We just get the special edition versions. And with yet more tweaks, they changed the Krayt Dragon call. They have Darth Vader saying no more times in it, especially at the end. So he's not all stoic and silently struggling at the end of Return of the Jedi like he used to be. And they added more rocks to when R2-D2's hiding in the desert. That just makes no logical sense because it's only in like one shot. And anyway, I can go on and on and on about the changes and how stupid they are. But anyway, so we got Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 6, and then tons of bonus material. Got a lot of archival stuff that was on the previous DVD releases, as well as a lot of material that has not been seen since like the 80s. So pretty cool. There's a lot of archival extras on here and behind the scenes stuff and documentaries that were originally on TV back in the 80s, stuff that I watched when I was a kid, and it's great to see them again. And yeah, overall just a really cool set. But like for the extras, much like this is a cool set for the extras, but again, sadly, not the definitive presentation of the movies. Next up, we have, kind of going in reverse release date order, we have the special edition of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So this is the one that includes the 3D version, and it's actually the last 3D release of a Star Wars movie that we've got here in North America. They still do release the 3D ones overseas. I may or may not import them at some point, I don't know, but basically this just slides off, and then if we open it up here, we have this very nice sort of digipack set. So 4 discs. Look at that, just loaded with stuff. This is a very, very deluxe edition of The Force Awakens. So very nice indeed. Yeah, and this is one I had no trouble double dipping on, simply because it's got so much in the way of additional extras, and of course the 3D version. And honestly, I saw this in the theater, and I gotta say the 3D was actually really good. There's some really impressive shots in there. And then, because I just couldn't wait, and also I didn't know there was a special edition on the way, I grabbed the original release when it first came out, and it's quite nice. I do like the just sort of plain cover there, the logo, and you can see some artwork in the logo there. And then if we open it up here, it's in this cool black case, which is really, really sweet. Nowadays, you only see really 4K stuff in the black cases, but occasionally you'd get a Blu-ray release in one, and it's, I don't know, it just makes it a little more special, right? So we got a little booklet there, and in this case, we got 2 discs. So yeah, so the 3D one gives you double the amount of content. Mind you, one of those discs is just the 3D movie, so I guess, you know, come on, there we go. And there we go. Very nice, very nice. Okay, and then next up we have the first of the standalone Star Wars movies. We've got Rogue One. This was really good. I really enjoyed this a lot. It's definitely a bit of a downer story, but it's just so well done you don't really care. Great stuff. I have not seen Solo yet. I really want to see it though, because I heard a lot of good things about it, that it really, you know, was a lot of fun, and that the cast playing the younger versions of the characters did a really nice job. And there we go, and we just got the movie and the extras. And what does it say? The best Star Wars yet, a must-own for your collection sticker there. It's interesting. I don't usually keep the stickers, but in this case, I guess I did. And then we have what everyone universally agrees is the greatest Star Wars movie ever, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Yeah, I did quite a lengthy video on this, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but just kind of calling out the haters. And holy crap, did I ever get a backlash for that. I mean, I expected there to be angry comments on it, but I could not believe how venomously negative people were about this. Like, really, people? I mean, like, I actually had people going out of their way to troll me, like, not just on YouTube, like, literally cyber-stalking me and trolling me and just trying to make my life hell because I liked a Star Wars movie that you didn't. Like, come on, people, let's get a little perspective here. So, hold on, we're going to have to cut that out because I just showed the digital code. So, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, there's the movie and the extras. I enjoyed this. Yes, it's different than the others, but I don't have a problem with that. I mean, to me, as far as I'm concerned, they're kind of shaking things up a little bit and setting things up for the future, and I look forward to seeing where it all goes. So then we have all that I have of Clone Wars, but it's a good one to have because it's kind of rare these days. Got the original theatrical movie that kind of kicked things off with the extremely rare lenticular cover. I totally lucked out, and I found this at like a local video store as they were closing, and it was just on their stuff they were selling shelf, so I grabbed it. And it wasn't even that expensive either. I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't very expensive. And there you go. So yeah, at some point I do plan to pick up the Blu-ray set of the oh yeah, you can see Van Isle Video. It's actually written right on the disc there. So yeah. So anyway, I do plan to pick up the series at some point. In the meantime, I'm probably just going to watch it on Netflix so I can at least see it, and then we'll go from there. And we got kind of our little Star Wars parody section at the end here. So we have the original, the first ever Star Wars parody, Hardware Wars, the 30th anniversary special edition. I don't know what's special about it other than I guess they restored it a little bit. But I like how they they make it look like just an absolutely annihilated VHS case here, where the tape is sticking out and the cover's all tattered. And yeah, so this is a pretty fun one. Basically, it's an extended mock movie trailer. What do we got here? The original uncut film, stereo soundtrack, newly unearthed director's cut, unauthorized foreign remake, director's commentary, 2 creature feature interviews. Yeah, it's got a bunch of stuff on it anyway. I think it's got a few other little short parody films as well. So really fun stuff. You definitely owe it to yourself to see Hardware Wars. It's so ridiculous, but it's fun. And the one probably everybody knows, we got Spaceballs, the 25th anniversary edition. This is obviously not a domestic release here. This was sent to me by a viewer a while back. I'm not sure what... is this Australia or New Zealand? I can't remember. But anyway, it's region free, so it's a region free edition. Basically has all the same contents that we got over here, and then of course the rating sticker on it. But yeah, very cool. Gotta love some Spaceballs. I think there's another edition that came out since. Might have more extras on it. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. And then we have the Family Guy trilogy, which is wonderful. I should mention, I also have the original special edition release of Blue Harvest. Just get the glare off there, which is pretty cool. I'll show you this one here first. So they obviously made it to kind of parody the Star Wars, the actual Star Wars set. If you put them side by side, they're very similar. And then, except on the back is different. Actually, this one probably parodies it more because it's similarly shiny. And and then has Stewie on the back as Darth Vader. But if we open this up here, oh, I have a random disc of outtakes from one of my other Family Guy sets. Okay, I don't know why I put that in there, but anyway, so very nice. This was quite a nice set. Just gonna move this over here, and like that. We got the DVD. Got some collector's cards, which is great. Actually, quite a chunk of them there. 3D glasses, because they actually have the sort of big final battle at the end in 3D, which is pretty cool. And there's also a t-shirt, which I have taken out and wear and get compliments on all the time. And there's an art book, and yeah, it's just a really nice deluxe set, which I kept, even though there's actually a few things on here that aren't on the Blu-ray set. So there's so then they put out the Blu-ray set. Now the original Blue Harvest was actually not done in high definition. Family Guy had not gone high def yet, but so the version of Blue Harvest that's on here is an upscale. But the following two, Something 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 Dark Side and It's a Trap, were both done in high definition. So they are true high def, but. Nice that they included them here. And look at this. It even mocks the... here, if we look at... if we put both of them here, side by side. Yeah, here we go. You can see the real one and the parody. And then what about this side? Oh, yeah, and that side is not... Well, kind of. It does mock it a little bit. So if we get there... And everything's falling over, but that's okay. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. I like the attention to detail that they do to these with these parodies. Quite fun. Like even right down to the packaging. And then here we have. So this is Blue Harvest, of course. Nice glare. There we go. And there. I gotta watch these again. I haven't watched these in so long, but. I love how he starts it out. And let's start. Let me tell you the story of Star Wars. We'll start with Episode 4. It just, yeah, that's a great parody of the original Empire Strikes Back cover. Very nice. And then finally, there we go. Again, a pretty spot-on parody of the Return of the Jedi cover there. Very nice indeed. That's great stuff. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Here we go. Okay. Oh, that was the case. That wasn't me. Alright, so I'll move this over here. And next up we have Star Wars, The Padawan Menace. Sorry, Lego Star Wars, The Padawan Menace. Sadly, this is the only Lego Star Wars one I have. I do have the game, Lego Star Wars The Complete Adventures. Actually, I have it a couple times over. I have it on PS3 and PC. But I need to get more of these because they've done a whole bunch since. Like, they did the Yoda Chronicles, and they did, what is it? It's something with the droids, and I can't even remember. There's a bunch. Anyway, they've done a whole bunch. They did some standalone specials like this, and there's also been like a series of them that they've done. But lots of fun. I really enjoyed this one a lot. It was quite funny. I love the humor in these. Same with the games. The games are just great. And then last, but most certainly not least, this is the only one I have from the original One Last Time collection. Basically, I found this in a stairwell at my ex's apartment building, and they were just kind of giving them away. So this is the only one that struck my eye. I was like, yeah, Star Wars, I'll grab that. It is the pan and scan version. It's not the widescreen edition. I basically just grabbed it just as a little collector's item. I mean, it's not even in the greatest of shape, but whatever. Now, I should mention, I looked everywhere, but I can't find it. I think I actually might have sold it back in the day. I used to have a box set, a VHS set, of the original release of the special edition from back in 1997. I got it as a Christmas gift that year, and I don't have it anymore. But I think everything that was on it is on the other sets anyway, because the only real extra that was on there, I think there was something about restoring the original trilogy, and then they had some stuff, like just some short interviews with George Lucas about the changes that they made, and I'm pretty sure those are included in here somewhere. But anyway, I kind of regret getting rid of it now because I didn't realize at the time that the 1997 version does have some differences between it and the 2004 version, which is on the DVDs, such as they improved the CG for Jabba in the added scene there in episode 4, and other little tweaks and changes and stuff like that. But oh well, what can you do? Anyway, that is the Star Wars collection. So definitely looking forward to checking out Solo and Episode 9 when it comes out. And I understand they've got even more stuff coming. There's actually, they're finally doing, it looks like it's finally happening, but there's the live-action Star Wars series, which is coming out. They've been talking about that for years. It looks like it's actually finally going to happen. They're doing fairly short seasons. I think it's going to be like a 10-episode season, but apparently every episode is going to be like $10 million budget. It's crazy. But yeah, so I look forward to seeing that. There's another animated series coming out. I forget what it's called now. But anyway, apparently Rebels is done. It finished this year, so we've got 4 seasons, and that's it. So I'm kind of waiting to see if they put out a complete series set, and then hopefully I'll be able to grab that. And in a surprise announcement, apparently Clone Wars is coming back. So they're actually bringing back Clone Wars for more episodes. So I don't know if it's just going to be like a mini series or a whole new season or what's going on, but yeah, it's kind of interesting because Clone Wars was originally envisioned to be about 100 episodes, and well, they surpassed that, but the fans love it and they're bringing it back, so that's kind of cool. I should really watch the original. Alrighty, well, that is it from me to you for now. So thank you very much for watching. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors. And I'll see you next time. So next time we'll be talking about, my Steven Spielberg collection. Got some classic sci-fi. Got some stuff based on young adult novels. And also some franchises based on cartoons. So be sure to join me for that one next time. Sorry, this is a great angle for getting the stuff displayed nicely, but kind of an awkward angle to see you. Hi. Alrighty. See you next time. Until then, sayonara.